Hello everyone, myself Vaibhav. In today's session of Visual JForex, we will be continuing our work using the indicator Relative Strength Index, which is commonly known as RSI. So let us get started for the day. This is the Visual JForex board developed by the Dukascopy Bank SA. In the prior session, the developments so far included these instrument subscription. The default instrument is being matched with the candle instrument, and that instrument is Euro USD. After that, this position amount has been defined at 0. Afterwards, I got this RSI block. These first two are of 4 hourly candle periods, and another two are of hourly. To look at the price volatility, we will also be taking the help of the gate historical candle. So this is of hourly candle period, and to pinpoint the exact entry point, these two say 10-second candles will be quite helpful. Then this calculation was carried out to define that there should be minimum price difference between the closing and the opening difference, closing and opening prices for the last hourly candle, and that is going to be 7 pips. So this calculation gets us that variable minimum pip value. Now moving forward, we will be getting our algorithm ready to execute the buy trade. At least that's our goal for today's session, and in next session we will also look at the sell side of the equation and then complete it fully. So I will give you a brief refresher of when the buy trade is going to happen. We will be considering the 4 hourly candle period at first, and here the requirement is going to be fairly simple. Let us allow this chart to load. It's taking a bit time. Okay, here it is. We want this RSI value to be above 50 and on the rise. That means the underlying momentum is on the bullish side for the instrument of our choice, and that is when we will be looking to initiate the buy trade. So these two conditions are going to be of paramount importance, that the enough of buying momentum should be there. So we will use the classical interpretation of the RSI, that is the output value above 50 is considered as bullish, and output value below 50 is considered bearish, and after reaching a high it might start to reverse. And to avoid that kind of scenarios, we will be placing this condition that in the last 4 hourly candle period the RSI value should be greater than the penultimate candle, and that will avoid the scenarios where the trading might happen after the reversal has started. And once the 4 hourly candle period is fulfilling our requirement, we will be taking the help of hourly, and on the hourly time horizon we will be using this requirement that on the last hour the output value should have risen above 50 from below 50, and that's all on the hourly time frame. And along with that we will also be using the difference. This closing value for the last hour should be greater than the opening price by at least 7 pips, and only after that we will be placing the order. So now we go back to the Visual JForex board. Here we will consider the candle 18's closing and opening difference. So we have to deduct its opening price from the closing price. It is going to be A1 minus A2 actual big difference, and since we are going for a pending open, we will have to also look at the price level on which we want the order to be executed. So to that extent, we will have to look at the limit side. We will be placing the order on the lower side compared to the current market price. So we will have to use the limit order. And here what we will do is we will take this actual difference and take 33% of it. So we will deduct that value from the last tick price to arrive at the price of the execution. Okay, so we will have to carry out one more calculation here. A new variable is going to be A1 into A2. And we will deduct this output from the last tick price to arrive at the execution price. Last tick bid, and it is going to be A2 minus A1. Okay, so our buy entry point has been defined. Now we will start with the conditions. For that, we will have to take logical blocks. RSI output value for last 4 hourly candle. It should be above 50. So first input greater than second input. and it should also be rising. So it should be above the penultimate 4-hourly candle output also. Again, first input greater than second input. And once the 4-hourly conditions are fulfilled, we rely on the hourly combination where the last hour RSI should have crossed above 50, and in the penultimate hour it is supposed to have been below 50. First input greater than second input. And in this case, first input less than second input. And after this, we will consider this difference, closing and opening difference. And it should be above minimum difference. Okay. And with this, we are almost done with the RSI and the volatility requirements. So now we go on to define the entry point. So order will be placed whenever we have the price rising above the last hourly candle close. It is going to be fairly simple. I will have to add trade command block pending open, which is going to be buy limit. So candle 19 close needs to be greater than the candle 18 close, whereas candle 20's close needs to have been below candle 18 close. First input greater than second input. first input less than second input. I will take a multiple action block. We will arrange these blocks on the lower side. Now coming to the trade command block, we have defined this buy price. So we will use this variable here. Default instrument will remain as it is. Default trade amount, I will change it to 0.1 million. Slippage is going to be 2 pips. Stop loss, we will go with a combination of 15 and 30. Stop loss will be 15 pips and take profit is going to be 30 pips. Comment, we will leave it blank. And order validity, that's a key variable, we can't really leave it blank. But as we are short on time, today I will not define this variable. We will do it in next session and then assign that value here. So for this session, what we will do, I will just join it to the flow, but of course we will have to disconnect it and add additional blocks in next session as we go on to define the sell side requirements. But for the time being, the buy side is almost complete apart from one variable which needs to be defined. We can go for a order validity of 1 hour, 2 hour, 3 hours, whichever time amount you think fit. We can define it as per our wishes. So this is the setup so far. I will color code it to make sure that iteration flow is going through till the very end. Yes, it is. So with this, I am wrapping up the session. Thank you all for joining in. Do subscribe to the Dukascopy webinar channel to stay updated on market developments. You can also follow us on the Facebook, and if you want to go for analytics, we have the Dukascopy analytics page. You can refer to that to access the information regarding the market conditions and the research required for taking the profitable trades. So do check out. See you next time. Till then, goodbye.